Okay, so welcome to the No Stand Zone podcast. My name is TA. Oh my gosh. Like folks from my side of the world will say, Otojo Meta, like it's been a minute. It's been a couple of what? This is not even saying just a couple of days. It's been a couple of weeks at this point. And man, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, how you guys doing? First of all, I hope you're having or you've had an incredible week, an incredible day. I hope you guys are in good health and feeling good, resting well with family. Because I mean, it's been a while. We've actually had to check in on each other, and what can I even say? I mean, well, to anyone who has been really pissed and just like, wait, what's going on, and you haven't released anything to let us know, any episode so far, to or even mention anything to let us know what's going on. First of all, I have to say I owe you guys a big apology for that, because first of all, I mean, you guys will have to hear me out. We'll get to that in a minute on why I've been out, but may not know vex, but we'll talk about it. And let me also say, I mean, for you guys who have actually stuck with me all through, through this really, really difficult time, and you are listening to this episode right now, it shows your dedication and your loyalty. So thank you very much. First of all, I mean, nothing actually beats that. For you listening for the first time and you're wondering what's happening, like what am I talking about, we'll get to that also in a little bit. To the OGs, you guys know how they be now. Nothing for me to be out this long means it has to literally be something that would hinder me from coming to the mic, or something that will be that difficult. All right, so but one thing I will say through this time is I've been paying a lot of attention to health. I mean, I cannot stress enough how important that is. So I hope you guys have been doing well in that aspect. As for me, my goodness, I mean, 2 weeks ago, I and that was like first kind of like the first episode I missed, and I honestly, you see, if you're not paying attention to your body and taking the cues here and there, you'll be surprised when your body just kind of switches it on you. So I remember 2 weeks ago, what was the thing that I couldn't come here? I think I had a really, really terrible back pain, I think from like 2 weeks ago, that, it was just really difficult to come here. And honestly, you guys know how dedicated I am to this. I mean, we've been keeping this keeping this going on and on and on. Well, it's been over a year now. We celebrated what? The 1 year anniversary a few weeks ago in February. So a lot of dedication to this. So I hope you guys just understand that. And this is not me just deciding to switch things up in the last minute. There's always something to talk about. So this is not me like just checking out, be like, let's say nothing there out there to go talk about. I mean, this industry gives you things to talk about, and even when they don't, I'm always thinking about what is happening around the industry, right? So to have it, and I'm always thinking about things as well. So even when the industry doesn't give it, I'm listening to a song, I'm listening to an album, something always sparks in my mind or in my heart, and I go down the rabbit hole, and then that guides sort of my thought around a particular topic or issue in the industry. And one of them we'll be talking about today. You trust. We trust. I will be bringing up one of them today. And what else? Again, I mean, last week I was supposed to come in as well, and my goodness, I don't know what I ate last week and just threw me off. Basically, terrible stomach ache, trying to deal with that, bring a new episode, and I mean, my whole weekend was really messed up as well. Now, usually I was thinking about it coming during the week, as releasing an episode during the week, but I just decided to keep it. You know what? This has been every Sunday so far for the past year or so. Let's keep it going that way. I trust that you guys would understand that my dedication to this is not wavering, and for me not to come here, it had to be something really, really, really serious. So, I mean, just generally, my health has been on and off for the past, 3 weeks now, I would say 2 weeks thereabout, that it has just been like, I just couldn't make it at the time, I should have. But let me say that I really do appreciate every single one of you from wherever, every single country around the world that you guys are listening from. Thank you very much for staying loyal. I know I did not even mention it on social media as well. And if you guys notice as well, I haven't been posting anything basically on social media because I have been kind of out of that as well. Really haven't been following what has been happening there around the music, but was able to catch up on a few things. And the beauty, the silver lining in all of this, the beauty is what we're doing here is so special. And I can tell you this. And I was looking at social media, trying to catch up on things. And the things that I put down that maybe we'll touch on one of this and this. Nobody has been talking about the things that I want to talk about. So at the same time, I'll be like, wait, I've been out for a minute, right? At the same time, I'm like, even like, it's like I haven't missed a bit, right? I haven't missed a bit. The thing, I mean, the industry is like there's no critical thinking out there on the events around the industry. Nobody seems to be following up on things. This space is very special. Like this period that I've been out just tells me that what we're doing here is really important, and the work that is being done here and this community is really important for the music industry. Nobody is covering in-depth analysis of what is happening, right? I mean, there are tweets here and there from people, but and most of them centered around just major artists and the news that is happening. But outside of that, nobody is doing in-depth analysis on albums, right? I still see some mediocre takes here and there about singles that people are dropping, but even those they're not really thought about. It's just, oh, this song knock, this song no knock. And this podcast is way, way beyond that. It's more in-depth analysis about the music, thinking a lot more about the artist. What does that future sound like? What message is the music giving me? Not message as in the lyrics or something like that, but what am I hearing from the music? What is the music saying to me, right? And for most people, cannot even catch that, even if it was right under their noses or right in front of their faces. And that's why I said earlier that I was looking on social media saying, oh, maybe I've been out, but by the time I come back, some of my thoughts and takes, somebody will have mentioned it, but nobody has even reviewed some of the songs that I'm going to touch on today. Talk less of the albums, right? Talk less of the topic of discussion that I've got for you guys later on in the show today. So at the same time that I feel disappointed that I haven't been here, at the same time I feel important, right? But this podcast is very, very special. There is none like it anywhere in the world, covering the Nigerian music industry, covering Afrobeats, covering African artists. There is no one covering it like we do here, right? And there's I can guarantee that some of the artists we're gonna dive into today, you guys haven't heard them anywhere, because one of them is that special. She has been having me kind of, throwing my head here and there as to how really, really great her music is. So once again, guys, thank you very much for being loyal, for keeping it real and being here. And honestly, if you have anything you just want to vent out, vex, send me that DM. Honestly, I will take it on a chin. And for you who just listened for the first time, and who don't know how to reach out to me, I'm available on Twitter. It's TA Sound. That's TIAE Sound on Twitter. There's also No Stand Pod, NOSTANPOD on Twitter as well. I'm open on all those platforms. That's where I'm most active. You can send me a DM on any of all those platforms. Just let me know what is going on with you. But I really apologize, I haven't been out, but if I could get up at any point in time, any of those Sundays to do this, I would have done it. It's just For me not to be here that long, you guys know that it had to be something really, really serious. And I know I didn't go really in depth as to, but trust me, it was it's been a really tough 2 weeks trying to balance my health and really getting myself at a hang of things at the moment. So I'm really grateful to God and that I'm able to do what I actually love, and you guys actually here to listen as well. So let's get into the fun stuff. Let's get into the exciting stuff. All the songs that I have been able to catch up on, I've been listening to. So let's start with, I think this is, for me, the most exciting one. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, there is something happening outside outside Nigeria, outside the continent, I would say, of Africa. And it's not just the music. I'm talking about the artists. There have been a few artists now that have caught my attention in the past year or so. That I mean African artists, right? Who are releasing some really remarkable music. And if you guys remember, one of my top artists last year, Tyra Chante, who is from, I think she's from the Netherlands, right? No, she's from Sweden, right? And I mean, her music has just kind of had me on a chokehold, right? And it's rooted in in the African culture, the beat and all of that, the lyrics as well, and it's just been really remarkable. There's Nana Fofi, who's of Ghanaian descent, who is also from the Netherlands, right? I've mentioned Daycom as well, who I found, heard his music for the first time in the past year or so. I think he's based in the U.S. And now this lady I'm about to talk about, her music is in really remarkable music. She is of Ghanaian descent as well. I mean, what's up with my Ghanaian people who are just holding it down and doing incredible things. Now, her name is, because I want to go through just kind of a little short biography about her, so you guys don't I don't mess it up, because I want you guys to know in depth who this lady is. Her name is MiDi KwaKwa. Now, I'm probably getting the intonation wrong, but basically the way you hear me say, that's how it's actually spelled out. MiDi KwaKwa. She does alternative R&B singer, and my goodness, born and raised by Ghanaian parents, and right now she's based in Germany. And one thing that stands out for me, just outside of the music a little bit, from the aesthetics and everything, tells me that this lady is so rooted in being African, being black, from her. Let me first of all say that she is extremely good looking, for sure. And and at a time when having a darker skin, there's a tendency for people to want to cower, or for people to I'm trying not to go down a deep a rabbit hole on this, but you guys understand. I mean, if you're on social media, if you understand what's going on culturally, there is that. But there's a tendency for people to want to be more light skinned and all of that. But this lady is dark skinned, and she's wearing it with so much pride and all of that. Now, I'm not knocking those who are light skinned or anything like that, but and I was looking at her social media as well. She wears it, really confidently, and I'm just so proud of this lady. Now, let's get to the music a little bit. Like I said, she is alternative R&B. That's what she says she does, and I think that's basically what it is, with a touch of African influences. She says she's inspired by Lauryn Hill, Jill Scott, Sade, Kelela Sholange, and I mean, at this point, and how did I even find the music? Let's go there. I think one of all this playlist, like new music kind of thing, and when you go through that playlist, right? They start with the most popular artists or the ones you follow or the most popular artists around the Afrobeat or African continent, and they just get through all the major, the names that you know. And by the time you start to scroll down, you probably haven't heard a lot of all these artists before, and that's where MIDI comes in. I was just, listening and just let that playlist play. I skip through the songs that I don't know, and then I hear this one. I think it's "Let Me Be Your Voice" out of this project titled, this EP titled "Moonflower." Bro, this I was like, wait, hold on, what is happening here? I could not believe what I was listening to. Now this EP has 6 songs, right? But my favorite of the 6 songs is in the second half. Comes in from Desire to Let Me Be Your Voice to Rosalina. This is a remarkable EP, a great way to introduce yourself into the industry. And if you guys remember, I mentioned a few weeks ago, and I think I put out a tweet that I probably won't be able to find right now. I put out a tweet saying that we, especially in Nigeria, let me speak for it from the Nigerian point of view, that we really have to get our our awards and things like that. We need to get serious about those things, not just for the local artists in Nigeria. And I don't say local to diminish anybody. I just mean local as in geographic, right? The local artists, we need to get it right to recognize those artists. And we also owe it to the African artists in the diaspora, because they're never going to get the proper recognition for their art anywhere else like we would. Because where do you categorize some of these people's music in mainstream Western societies? Like Nana Fofi, for example, who's in the Netherlands, who's doing more of the Afro R&B, right? There isn't probably even a category for her, right? In the Netherlands, they probably she wouldn't even be able to get through the regular R&B category in the Netherlands. That's the Netherlands Music Awards, for example, right? Even if they do recognize her, nobody is going to really appreciate the music like we do, because we understand the lingua, the lyrics, and some of the context to the music that she's making, right? And to Tyra Chante as well, who is full, pop Afrobeat, pop leaning, like Afro pop. She's never gonna get full recognition in Sweden, right? And now talk about MiDi KwaKwa. She's never gonna get the proper recognition in Germany. So I said this a few weeks ago, not knowing that I'm gonna keep finding some of these artists who are especially in Europe now. This seems to be where these artists are kind of budding from. And I mentioned it not knowing that a lot of, I'm saying this, I said it then, just out of the fact that I feel like, if we get it right, then we can stretch our arms to these people who are outside and also recognize them as well. These people are having to make music and know that they probably would never be really recognized, or their music would never be really appreciated in the communities that they reside in. So we owe it to them to get things right here at home as well. We should have a best international artist category and not give it to some artists who, I mean, even the best international artist would be African, like best African or whatever international artist, right? Like artists outside of the continent. That would be brilliant. Now you create a bridge sort of for those artists as well, where people are able to actually know about them, because some people might not. Now you create a bridge where folks in the continent who are not necessarily going to be looking for music or African artists in Europe, you create a bridge where that's possible. This artist, I mean, I don't know how possible it is now, but this artist will be able to tour or show up on the continent, right? And fans as well can get open to new music as well. So I mean, this could really be a great thing. But all of that cannot happen if we don't figure our shit out, and we're waiting for some American award to do all the work for us. How are they going to appreciate MiDi KwaKwa's music? Right? We shouldn't wait. I mean, it shouldn't be until she gets American recognition, right? Before we start to celebrate her. Because it looks like that's what happens now. So, I mean, I feel so proud to be from the same continent as this lady because she's extremely talented. I think this is her first album as well, first EP. Let's see. I think, yeah, it's a first body of work, is it? Yeah, it looks like this is her first body of work. Give me a second to yeah, this is her first body of work. She hasn't had she hasn't had so many releases. So she's really like a new artist, just new to the industry, but I'm so proud of the work she put into this EP. This is remarkable work. This I'm hearing a lot of confidence, right? She's an incredible storyteller, and the alternative part of it almost threw me off at first, but I then had to, kind of take a step back and get what her rhythm is, like what she's seeing, what she's trying to pass across, and the music and all of that. But I love this project. A really great way to start. I think my favorite so far, I think, is Rosalina. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think this is my favorite so far. Yeah, this is my favorite so far. She knocks it off out of the park with this alternative sound. She reminds me, of course, of Amare, who works with that pop sound alternative as well, but still grounded in the African, the lyrics and just yeah, the African influence can be heard in her lyrics as well. But MiDi, I'm so proud of the work you've put into this project. You should be proud as well. I see the work she does on social media, I think via her Instagram, because after I heard this music a while back, I just started following her on all platforms. Like, I need to know what you're doing. I need to be able to follow you, because the time that there is no way she stays unknown relatively for so long, because I read through her bio and she's been recognized in the past. I think she mentioned in her bio that she got an award or something, best newcomer at some competition or something done by Red Bull. Yeah, her talent earned global recognition in 2019. She was named one of Red Bull's Music's 17 best newcomers, as well as in 2020. And in 2021, she delivered a sold-out headline show in the Netherlands, captivating the audience with a powerful performance. I mean, the performing part side of it as well can be seen, because I look at her social media and the confidence is there, right? It doesn't look like she's just coming in. Newbies now, Johnny just come. There's a way you can kind of see that, and it's not even a bad thing, but you can kind of see that that maybe they're still trying to grow up, which there's still room to grow here, of course, but there's a hint of confidence that I see from her show out on social media, and even from the music as well. It's like she's so grounded in who she is now that there is no flinching in the voice. That there's so much confidence right there. I can say that enough. I am so proud of the work she put out on this EP. The EP is titled what? Moonflower. The EP is titled Moonflower. remarkable work. Let me just say that right away. So, what other music caught my attention this week? Let's go ahead. See, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, Loiso, one of my favorite artists right now ever. Like, not even just on the continent. One of my favorite artists right now. If you guys remember from 2 years ago, I mentioned about 2 years ago. If you've been following me on social media that long. 2 years ago, I mentioned he had one of the most remarkable projects on the continent that I heard that year. That's right next to Amare, who had my album of the year. But from 2 years ago, I mean, Loiso, man, I don't even know where to start with him because there's Loiso and there is everybody else when it comes to this, to like male R&B performances on the continent. Very few come close to his elite status as a singer and also as a songwriter. I don't think he gets enough recognition for the work that he does. I mean, it is what it is with that. But Loiso has had released two songs, actually released two songs of what, last year, or is it did I say last year? Last week. And my goodness, this guy, I don't know, man. Two songs titled High and Higher. I run out of words to describe how, like I say, blown away I am by his brilliance. You guys should go listen to it for yourself. But I actually run out of words to say about Loiso, one of my favorite artists right now. High and Higher, bro. Man, his ability to tell incredible stories is second to none, right? He understands what the work is, in the sense that this is not someone trying to do, I am diversified, I am what's the word they are throwing around these days? He's so secure in who he is that it is there's a sound and there's a vibe that Loiso gives you, and then he passes his message across in that bubble, in that environment, with that style. And like I mentioned a few weeks ago, that's how you know artists that are going to be here for the long run haul. People who eventually are rooted in the ground, in their sound, in who they are, and they just build everything else around that. You know, the branches come out, the fruits come out. You get what I mean? Now, you're because it's rooted in it, it's rooted to the ground. You're not gonna see him move here and there, move here and there. Nah, there's no time for that. I'm too rooted. Just keep spreading your roots. Still established in who you are, you can spread your roots and go far and wide, but at the same time, we know who you are, and you as well know who you are. You're not trying to prove a point to anybody, right? A lot of our artists are falling for that, for the okey doke there, trying to prove to social media that they can do reggae, do hip hop, do pop, do rap, do everything, and then when the wind blows, they're swept with the weeds. They're swept with the debris. They're swept away. But few are rooted, man. Like my man Loiso. His music makes my heart joyful. Not because the music maybe is necessarily joyful, right? But when someone does it so well, right? When you listen to the music and your heart just melts. Literally, that's what happens every time I hear his music. My heart just melts because, one, his voice is it's just great. And then he's telling incredible stories as well. Incredible songwriter, second to none as well. Oh my gosh. So you guys should go listen to this. I cannot wait for a second Loiso, for a Loiso project. We're due for that. It's been 2 years. And the last one he released as well was an EP. Yes. Seasons, the last album we had from him, 2023. Oh, that was an album. Why? I don't even know how we call this an album. This is just 6 songs in this. So I'm giving that an EP. You're not gonna call that an album. I'm just not. I'm not just gonna take that from you. Release 7 songs and call it an album. No, I'm taking that as an EP. I think that must have been some of my thoughts at the time as well. But man, Loyiso, my man, I am I I am so my heart leaps for joy hearing him, and it's been weeks and weeks. It's like I did not know I needed this. From even higher, the song higher, I actually did not know I needed to hear those words exactly the way he put them out in this music. I didn't know I needed to hear that. So you guys should honestly go listen to it. This man makes elite 5-star world class music. I run out of the appropriate words to categorize exactly how great his music is. So what else have I been listening to? What other new music came out in the past week kind of have my attention? Now, Psycho YP as well released a song titled Different Pattern. And for me, I listened to this, right? And there have been conversations around rap the past, week or so. And I didn't even bother to join those conversations. I couldn't, but even if I could, those conversations were redundant to me that I just felt, well, not for me. But the Psycho YP is one of those, whenever those conversations around rap have been had, that they rap a certain way and probably it's not really rooted in the African experience and all of that. And I actually hear, I mean, I will concede that point to a certain extent. But for me, it's like, if you haven't listened to Psycho YP enough, or if you haven't listened to his projects in the past, I can see how you feel that way. Now, with him, the thing is, I know what he can give me. So whatever he's doing now with all those rapping majorly, I'm not really connecting to the rap like I probably would in the past, from past, like the way I have in past projects. I'm not even vexed, right? It's more of, okay, this is the vibe you're in right now. That's fine. That's okay, because I know what you can give to me. That album YP Season had a very, very strong I was really impacted by that album as to how the range of how he's able to rap is what I mean on that project. And now, I think I had heard him before rap, and it sounded like, oh, he's trying to sound a certain way. I would have criticized him really like all the way if there wasn't an album like YP Season that was so rooted in the African experience. Like, and even Odumodu himself, people say things about him. That album just kind of like, you know what? If I want to hear Odumodu say or sound a certain way, I can go listen to that album. Whatever he's doing now, I will let those artists have some creative freedom, right? So I say all of that to mention that this song titled Different Pattern takes me to Psycho YP from that album YP Season, where it is kind of rooted and mixed with I don't know much about his background there, maybe because he raps a lot with that Western or European cadence that I would be shocked if he didn't have a background, or he didn't grow up there for a bit, or is not heavily influenced by artists from in those regions. But there is obviously the African in him, that if at this point it is, if I want to give you that style, if I want to speak about the, if I want to um flow with that African influence mixed with that Western one, I can give that to you. Basically, at this it is what I mean, I've kind of settled into that if he's not giving me that cycle, that version of himself from YP season, it is because he doesn't. It's not because he doesn't want to do it. It's not because he can't. It's just because he doesn't want to do it. And I've been proven right by the release of this song titled Different Pattern. I love this. This is the cycle YP that I really, really can listen to all day, any time of the day. Because he definitely has the bars. He definitely has the lyrics. I love whatever he has to say. He has a way of putting those two things together that makes it and it comes out well every single time. Different Pattern is one of that. I love this. I hope whatever he's coming out with next and album wise is similar to what he delivered on YP season. I really cannot. That for me, I don't know how he can beat the kind of my review of that album for him. I think he can do a lot better than that. I think he's even grown as an artist since then as well, from 3 years ago. So I really did enjoy a live like this song. I was wondering when I pressed play that, oh my gosh, am I gonna get the full Western style or cycle white people more? No, man, he brought it home, and I really love this. I really, really do like this one. This I have been listening to as well over and over again. See, this next artist, I think I've spoken about him several times now, and I put it there that he is one of the most talented artists right now. I'm talking about top 5 at the moment. Very, very few people come close to Ruger just as an artist. My goodness. And I said a while back, I've mentioned as well in the past that it's like with him, it is like almost impossible for him to make bad music, like a song that is just, oh, this is terrible. Because just his cadence alone is so unique that every time I hear him, it sounds Ruger, but it also sounds fresh. It has this song from the Colors show titled Toro that I'm like, I listen to him and I'm like, I just shrug my shoulders, not in a bad way, but like, I told you, like, what else? He is really remarkable. I love this song. He's also one of those incredible songwriters and great storytellers as well. He has his own way of telling his story or saying things that I totally admire him. It's like he would never get it wrong. He gives me the same vibes that Buju gives me. They know how to tell remarkable stories. They know how to tell a good story, man. It is basically it. Ruger, I love this. I love this track titled Toro. And it almost sounds like he's freestyling it. Like there's that lackadaisical attitude kind of vibe that he gives in this song, but it's not by luck. It's not just vibes with him. This is work, and if he's giving you that, is because that is part of the kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? Part of the message of the song, or part of the vibe of the song, that he decides to deliver the song in that manner. Ruger, there's not much you can say about him at this point, but it is evident. And for me, I will stand on that hill that it is almost, Ruger cannot make a bad song. And I think he was going viral a few weeks ago. I don't even know what that was about. Maybe about the lyrics or something. I don't even know. I didn't even check. I'm not necessarily concerned. I'm not necessarily concerned about that. Okay, who else caught my attention this week. Let me talk about this this is actually a new artist who has just, I don't know whether 1.5 songs out at this point. She has two well, let's technically two songs. One is the original, one is a remix of the only song that she has out right now. And her name is Ru. R-U. That's just it. I came across her music on those new music playlists a few weeks ago. And she has this song titled I Think I Love You, where she featured, let me go to that album, where she featured Magix, I think is who she featured on the remix. Let me be sure. You guys give me a second here to be sure on who she featured. Yeah, she featured Magix on the song titled I Think I Love You Too, which is kind of like the remix. And ladies and gentlemen, I will get to Magic's album next week. I promise you guys. I've listened to it, and my gosh, I have thoughts. I have thoughts, but we'll get to it. Oh my goodness, we'll get to that album. It's remarkable, and this is, like I said earlier, this is one of those that I was thinking, okay, now, okay, no, I haven't been around. Someone else would probably have said something or give you, drop some kind of better insight. And yeah, nobody, because people that don't just pay attention to music, right? So I'm excited to let you know about what I think about this album. We'll get to it next week. I promise. All right. But in the meantime, you guys can let me know what you think about his the album. But yeah, let's get back to Ru, who this is special. Now, very few artists are able to do this, where you come out of the gate, and straight out of the gate, your very first, second, third song released kind of is able to grab a lot of attention or sounds really good. So many artists grow into it, right? You keep releasing music. Eventually you find yourself, you find your voice, and it's just kind of smooth sailing in quotes now after that, because you found yourself. The work is different, right? It's not the same. What you need to do is not the same like you just came into the industry, right? And so when I saw this song, I Think I Love You Part 2, and the song sounded really good, featuring Magix, was like, okay, let me go to her page and find out, okay, what are the music songs that she had? Because I get that kind of vibe as well, where I hear it and I'm like, I hear something special here. I hear something interesting here. I hear something confident here. How has let me see what her journey is to get to this point. What has it been like? And because I hear someone who can, who can really go far as well, who can be here for the long haul. I heard that in the remix in this song, and I was like, okay, let me go check out what her page is like and what has she been doing, what has she been up to, just to find out that the only song she has released is the original version as well. The original version. That's the only song she has released before this remix. The original version, titled I Think I Love You. And I actually prefer the original to this remix, because I don't think Magix did a lot of justice to it. It's just my perspective on that. And so this is remarkable. I think that I needed that should be said real quick. This is really great work. So very few artists. I said this with King MiDi also in the past. I said this about Morave as well. Very few artists come out of the gate sounding like this, where you can, there's so many good spots, in the sense that there's not so many holes that you find in the music. It is like, if this is how you come out of the gate, like your very first single, then there's so much more. Her name is Ru. It's just titled RU. Lady, I am so impressed. I don't even know how to great that categorize her music now, because this it's just her first single, right? So I don't know if she's leaning more if she's going to be leaning more R&B, or she's going to be leaning more Afro pop. I honestly cannot even tell any of that. But and I usually would not even comment or say a lot about artists that don't, like, there's no history, there is nothing to kind of compare or juggle, like nothing to compare here, nothing to, to, no journey to kind of evaluate here, right? So I usually try not to talk about, artists like this, kind of give them the time to come in. But this caught my attention, and it sounded so good that I just needed to give her the recognition and be like, you coming out of the gate this strong, sounding this good, that the remix with the established artist is not the one that caught my attention. It's the one where it is just you. That is you're in that is a rare space to be, where you catch my attention, and I just want to hear you. The established artist, I feel, is kind of taken away from me taking all of what you bring to the music, right? And the one I actually really really did enjoy, which is, I think, is from last year, is the one, yeah, it's actually released in September last year. The remix just came out a few weeks ago. And so this is the one I'm excited about her as well. I don't want to put a lot of pressure on her, but this sounded so good that I couldn't just, let it go. I needed to recognize her for the work that she has put in. You should be proud, Rue, of the work of this. As the first time, like, on your mark, set, go. And your very first step and second step are, kind of taking, they've taken you, like, really out of the gate, in good strides out of the gate already. So I just needed to recognize. I usually don't like commenting on it. I want people to release more music, and then I kind of can evaluate that and get. But no, I needed to give a shout out to this lady, Rue. I'm just gonna be waiting for more from you at this point. You have something here. Don't try and tell me you can diversify. Try and find yourself. You're definitely in the right direction. Don't follow the wind. Don't put your hand in the sky and see where the wind is blowing. Search within yourself. And I think this is not just for her, it's for every this new artist out there today. Find yourself. Don't just go, if you need to gradually get there before you put out a project, then get there. But you have to, it has to show in the music that there is growth. That has to be evident every time you're putting music out, for sure. That is the only way. And it is what it is. And I say this, sometimes music might not be fully embraced by the mainstream, and on all of that, but I want to be that there are still people out there who would recognize good music for what it is. Right? So do you, what is you, not what is in the industry, what the industry is buzzing in the industry, what is trending in the industry. Let it be you, because the sound will always change, and you don't want to be confused. You don't want to be thrown off guard. And because whatever happens, you want to be able to stay you, and then you can always, still put out music that is still you. So I hope you stay original, stay true to yourself, whatever that is, whatever you figure out in the future. Whatever that path is for you, I wish you all the very best. I just needed to recognize this really talented lady. Who else did I listen to? I think one more. Let's take one more. Oh no, that's basically all of it. That's basically all of it. But no. This one also caught my attention. Let's take this one. There's this one, Bosamore, featuring Terry Akpala, London to Lagos. Now this Bosamore, this one was more of like comedic music, kind of like, to me. The reason I actually really did enjoy this is because of Terry Akpala. You guys know how I feel about him. I think right now he is talking about my most favorite albums of the year. Not my favorite albums, and most favorite. My favorite albums of the year. Terry Akpala's Black and White is still number one right now. Number one for albums of the year. I mean, it's not even. Would I say it's not even close? No, I would say no. I won't say it's not even close. But 255 comes really close to that. One of my favorite albums right now. 255 with the album Odabo. So, but it's still number. He's still number one for me albums of the year right now. So I'm just on to him. Anything he's on, I am there. It's a really nice song. You can tell my man from the UK just throwing all the Lambert in, but it's a really nice track. Terry Akpala kills it every time. There is something to this man. Oh my gosh, there's something about him that is able to break down the music so much. His style is like it disarms, yeah, or deciphers the music, kind of breaks it down. Every time he just opens his mouth, it's like, I mean, that's how I usually take it. No matter how the Western sounding the beat is, or pop sounding the beat is, whenever he just opens his mouth, I hear, oh, Terry Akpala here or something. It's like it's like a code that just deciphers the music, just breaks it down. He just takes over, right? He's like, his voice and his style just overwhelms the music, and I just totally love it. It's my favorite, for sure. One of my favorite artists right now. Black and White album, top there as one of my favorite projects of the year so far. That being said, we're almost out of time, but I need to touch on this that has been on my mind for a minute now, and I was talking about, and I think I'm sure somebody would tell me, they would count for me how many times I say things. I say the phrase I've said in the past, or if you've been listening long enough and things like that. But most of the things that I mention here, because I've been thinking about these things in the past for a minute. I've been thinking about these things for a minute, and this podcast is just a year old, but I've been tweeting about, I'm putting these things out about some of these issues way before this podcast started, right? So I'm able, whenever I think about these things, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I've documented it yet. On the podcast, I decide to bring it here. For some of you who, of course, cannot be, will not be able to go through my old tweets and things like that to get these gems and my thoughts on some of these things, I decide to bring them. So when I actually say I've mentioned it in the past, trust me, it's either on this podcast if you've been listening long enough, or if you just search on my Twitter handle, right? Just search my page, or the keyword for whatever topic it is. I not 10 over 10. I can tell you that you would see the tweets, or that I'm actually referencing things that I've actually said, oh, I've mentioned before. You will see it there. This is not just me coming up with things out of thin air, right? So so yeah, there's that. And so let me talk about this that has been on my mind for a minute now, and it's talking about sort of why we're here, the state of the Afrobeats, or state of the Nigerian music industry today, or the state of the Nigerian music generally today, and what kind of what I've been thinking about is I want to be careful with my words right now, but it's the rise of the beat maker and sort of the death of the producer. Now, what do I mean? One thing that I've noticed in the industry a lot today is most artists, and I don't know why it is very evident, most artists just receive beats or buy beats from producers nowadays, and they just buy the beat and make music with the beat instead of a scenario where you work with someone who is able to actually guide your music. Do you get what I mean? And you see, that is, for me, that comes out really, really, really evident when we hear that so many people's music sound the same way, right? There is a trending sound and everybody else just tries to work around that sound. There is no way that this artist and this artist and this artist, the three of you go into the studio and you're coming out with albums that are sounding very similar. That doesn't happen unless somebody is cheating here, in the sense that somebody here is going with what the industry is, because the three artists are not the same. I mean, we've heard them in the past. They don't release the same music. They're not the same people. They're not a group. We know that they could sound different. So right now it is, I just get the beat from the producer and I just make my music from what the producer is giving me. Now, I understand that there's a side of this where, you know, to work with some, I mean, the thing is, those producers, I don't think they even exist, or they are not, let me not say they don't exist. They're not a lot of them out there. And that's right. So many of the artists are sounding the same today. It looks like so many artists are releasing the same type of music, right? Because I think personally, and I want to compare this to what the early 2000s and 2010s sounded like. In fact, there were so many artists at the time, and there were never two artists that ever sounded the same. Never. You do your research on your own, and if I'm wrong, please come back and tell me. I can mention 10 artists today. If you look at the top 10 artists, there are few in the past year that have been sounding the same in the type of music that they're putting out. Just generally, the industry there's this one prevailing sound right now in the industry. You cannot tell me that all you artists are going in and this is what you're coming out with. And I'm not even talking about upcoming artists. I'm talking about established artists. I've been thinking about this a lot. That has to be one of the major differences here. People saying, "Oh, the music is sounding stale," right? I've mentioned one of the reasons is the lack of songwriters, right? Another reason is the rise of just beat makers posing as producers. And the thing is, music is about collaboration. There's this thing in this industry where we make it look like, we make it sound like artists are supposed to be able to do everything. You're supposed to be a great songwriter, a great dancer, a great performer, you're supposed to be good in it, like 99, 99, 99. There is no soccer player is 99 in everything. Is the best defender 99, also best striker 99, also best has midfield qualities 99, has winger qualities 99, has goalkeeping qualities 99. Come on, what are we doing here? No artist is like that. They're artists, you're stronger in certain ways, and your collaboration helps to build the other parts. Because I'm looking at this, that I'm looking at folks like MiDi KwaKwa. There is no way you're just going to MiDi KwaKwa just for the beat. His influence is in the music. His influence is in the music. I mean, Don Jazzy, I don't have to tell you, where it's not just him giving you a beat, it's him actually giving direction to the music as well. Right? And I think today we have a lot of, and I'm not saying those producers don't exist. I'm saying most of the people that actually exist today, and because not every artist is the best producer, not every artist is the best songwriter, sometimes that collaboration, is what is needed to actually um help the artist blossom. And this is not even for just, and like I said, established artists as well. Look at how it's done in other genres around the world. That is how to make that's how your music stays fresh. The collaboration makes it sound fresh, makes it sound exciting, because people can get tired of just you, right? But the thing that's where producers come in. I'm not just talking about someone who makes a beat for you, someone who, no, and I'm not saying someone who writes the music for you, but someone who can give direction to the music based on your style. Today, where someone can just, because I know how to use Pro Tools, that doesn't make you a producer. Hello, for the people at the back, that you can make beats with Pro Tools doesn't make you a producer. We need more producers involved in collaboration with artists today. And I think our mindset around the abilities of an artist also needs to change. Very few artists are good at everything in the music, are good at writing, producing, performing, everything. No artist is good at all three of those things. You are stronger in some areas than in some areas. More collaborations need to happen between artists and producers, not just artists and beat makers. Not just artists who take beats, go into their homes and make music. I mean, that is not going to get you far. It's not even, you are not going far as an artist like that. Not many artists are able to do that over the long haul. Just you with beats, no. We need more producers. I'm not going to call anybody out, but I think most of the field today are just producers, are just beat makers. Most of the field today are just beat makers and not producers. Because if they are, there would have been some I would have heard their influences in the direction of the music in the industry generally. Right? Because it's not just it's not even just a thing of it's the producer's fault, or it's not. That's not what I'm saying. The collaboration is not happening, and on one end we know the artists are there. On the other end, it's most of these the people are not producers. They're just beat makers. That's basically it. And we have to be honest here. And I know there's dynamics that also exist with the way people are in this industry, and people not being honest. Producer will, artists maybe will not pay the producer, or the producer will, the beats, whatever. I think there was a conversation too as well a few weeks ago where someone said they found a beat to a popular song. They found the beat online, right? It's like they bought that beat online. So even some of the beat makers are not even making the beats. They're just taking the beats online and kind of, would I say, sampling the beats, or doing a different iteration of what they're hearing online. So wait, even the people we call beat makers, are they actually making the beats as well? I stand 10 toes on this, that most of the people making beats today they are beat makers and not producers. More collaboration needs to happen between artists and producers. And this is for established artists. I'm not saying that for upcoming artists, because I know that can be difficult because it takes a lot of money to actually do. I mean, the studio time and the time it takes, and I mean, don't get me into all of that. I know that. But for established artists who are signed to major record labels, independent artists who are doing music, who are by themselves now, we need more collaboration. And not just producers, Western producers who do not understand the fundamentals of our music. I mean, yeah, I just needed to get that out. It's the decline. That's the word. The decline of producers and the rise of beat makers. It's partly the reason why we're here, and most artists cannot figure themselves out. Because sometimes a producer might be the reality check you need and be like, no, bro, this direction I don't think is where we are. And the person can actually craft a direction as well. And some of you will say, oh, the artist might not listen, and all of that. If you go into a studio today, right, with Timberland, you know you're in the studio with Timberland, right? So what are we saying? You build your reputation on that. Is what it is. I mean, no, Timberland just dropped from the sky, right? And I use Timberland because he's one of the most respected, like, even in, around the world, right? Don Jazzy is kind of taking the hands off on the production side. Is not as heavily involved as it used to be, right? So I mean, that is that. You have to build your reputation on that. So artists won't listen. Well, the ones that listen, if you do a really good job there, any other artist that comes into the studio with you will give you some leeway as well. Will give you some control as well. Like, okay, let's work on this together. Let's create something together. And not just, oh, let me buy beats, give me beats, let me work on beats and drop music on beats. And the thing is, I sort of can hear when it is just an artist, it's just an artist speaking on the beat. There is no soul connection between the beat and the artist, between the music and the artist. You can sometimes hear that. But let me say that Terry Akpala is different, man. For sure, Terry Akpala is different. Well, but right now I was just listening to his to the album again sometime this week, and I was like, ooh. I was like, ee. I hope he also stays original, stays true to himself, and keeps this going there. I mean, the sky is a stepping stone for this brother at this point. Well, those are all the things that I've got for you guys this week. Next week for sure I will come give you my take on the Magic's album. Strong feelings I've got on that album. Let me know what you think about any of the things I've spoken about today. If you have contrary thoughts, or you actually support anything you have got to say, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm very, very open to all of that. Let's have the conversation. And once again, please, thank you very much for you guys staying with me and just understanding and being patient. Thank you for being patient. The weeks that we've been out, we're back now. God willing, we'll be dropping, we're going to hit 50 episodes, God willing, next week. A big milestone for sure. So please, as always, my social media platforms open for any feedback as well. Love to hear that. Ways you think we can get better, ways on how you think what we're doing, areas that we're also doing well as well. I mean, it will be good to to also get those good affirmations from you guys. So recognition and appreciation will feel good. All right, but thank you very much as always. Please don't drink and drive, don't text and drive. Until next week, stay blessed.